Hey, how's everybody doing? David Meyer. I'm the author of The Big Adventure, creator of the Infinitely Powerful Souls Mastermind group. I'm not sure how many people are going to be joining us tonight. So I'm recording this for YouTube, for the world, to add value to anybody's life who's interested in mastering the art of goal setting. Unfortunately, my friend Mark Newby, who is part of the Infinitely Powerful Souls Mastermind group, he's dealing with something that's very challenging right now. So I'm praying that God gives him the desires of his heart, makes all of his plans succeed. I'm praying that he experiences a miraculous healing. And I'm dedicating this Infinitely Powerful Souls Mastermind group meeting on goal setting. This is a 10-week series and mastering the art of goal setting. I'm dedicating this to you, Mark Newby. So I love you, brother. And I'm rooting for you, man. So when this video comes out, watch it. All right, so this is the Infinitely Powerful Souls results-oriented mastermind. The master the art of goal setting to get everything you want faster than you ever thought possible. Infinitely Powerful Souls Mastermind group is part of an international mastermind community that operates according to the rule, our golden rule, which is do unto others as you want done unto you. Oh, wait a second. I got to make sure that I'm sharing my screen. Okay. It's going to be a little bit tricky without any feedback right now until somebody joins me here, but I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So I'm sharing my screen. I'm going to start my slideshow. We're going to go through the slides. I'm going to add as much value as I possibly can today, my friends. That's one of my things that I affirm every single day in my daily vision work. I contribute and add value to the world every day. Infinitely Powerful Souls, results-oriented mastermind. Master the art of goal setting to get everything you want faster than you ever thought possible. I've learned some things about goal setting by reading through this book one time that blow my mind. And I've been studying goal setting for 5 years straight now. Your soul has a special mission. Your soul is supremely conscious of it. Maya, illusion, or forgetfulness makes you feel that you are finite, weak, and helpless. This is not true. You are not the body. You are not the senses. You are not the mind. You are the soul, which is unlimited. Soul is another word for your subconscious mind, my friends. My mentor, Joseph Murphy, wrote the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. He said thought is the most powerful force in the universe. And he said your subconscious mind and your soul, they're the same thing. And he said within your subconscious mind is the power that moves the world. It is the almighty power and presence of God. Sri Chinmoy said your soul is infinitely powerful, meaning your soul or your subconscious mind is the most powerful force in the universe. Your soul or subconscious defies all time and space. Time and space does not exist there. Sri Chinmoy. So that's why it's so important to be thinking about your goals every single day and be thinking about them exactly the way Brian Tracy talks about in this book, where you think about them in the positive, present and personal tense. So we are part of an international mastermind community called Noble Goldman. We focus on all these different areas of having an abundant life: spiritual development, productivity, personal development, spiritual life, quality of life, professional life, the abundance game, your goals, your habits, your vision, different sources of income, creating multiple sources of income through the mastermind principle. Noble Goldman International is a conscious, aware, and engaged global community of abundance and freedom creators. Our mission is to create 1 million millionaires who are free from the time for money paradigm. We focus on creating multiple streams of income through masterminding, team building, and the effective utilization of the internet-based platforms. The mastermind becomes an opportunity for self-mastery, where the self-transcendent shift from the me to the we to the us occurs. As congruence and engagement increases, the world's consciousness is then raised one meaningful and inspired relationship at a time. So one of these sources of income that we're working on at Noble Goldman here that is a real game changer. It can completely transform your whole life. It's an affiliate program called The Vault, where you'll have access to an extraordinary, just amazing amount of personal development, coaching, every single type of personal development or self-improvement program you could ever imagine, including your own coaching and personal development program, can be added to The Vault. And we build teams. When you have 10 people that are masterminding with you every single week, and they're paying for this affiliate program, so they have access to The Vault, they have access to all this extraordinary personal development, coaching programs. There's some really amazing ones in there. That is going to be an annual commissions of $6,000 per year when they duplicate that process and go build their own teams of people that mastermind with them every single week. That's going to be an annual commissions for you, my friend, of $24,000 per year. And it's a 3-level system. It's a 3-tier affiliate program. When those 10 people have built teams of 10, and that is now an organization of 100 people, they go out and duplicate that process. Now here I'm circling with my little cursor. That's 1,000 people in your organization. And the annual commissions for you is $144,000. And every single one of those people is getting a tremendous, extraordinary amount of value by applying the mastermind principle every single week in their life and having access to all of the self-improvement and personal development programs in The Vault, and being able to add their own, whatever their coaching program is, whether it's a breathing program, whether it's yoga, whether it's, just straight up hardcore personal development, network marketing, anything that leadership development that you're willing to add to that NG Vault. And I'm in the process of adding this one. I'm just a busy daddy daycare kind of guy, so haven't got around to it yet, but it's definitely worth it, my friends. It's working some financial miracles in my own life, and I highly recommend you ask me some questions about it, and we'll get you any questions that you have. We'll answer those questions and get you all the information you need so you can make an educated, informed decision about this incredible opportunity. Moving on. All right. So this is something that Brian Tracy talks about in the book, Goals, How to Get Everything You Want Faster Than You Ever Thought Possible. This is the second edition of the world's best-selling book on goals. So he has this is a little bit later in the book. We're not going to talk about this tonight, but write down 10 goals every morning and night in the positive, present, and personal tense. And if you do this every single day in your discipline, he says this can completely and totally transform your whole life in a year's time. And he said in teaching this for 20 to 30 years, nobody has ever came back to him and said that this doesn't work. In fact, everybody has emailed him, called him, texted him, any way they could possibly communicate with Brian Tracy. They've told him that miraculous transformations have happened in their life beyond anything they ever imagined possible, just through this simple practice. And if you want to amplify that and 10x it, 100x it, you take those 10 goals and you add 3 action steps in the positive, present, personal tense. So I'm going to give you an example from the book here really quick. Let me see here, because I think his example on this is absolutely brilliant. So he says, review your goals daily. That's the chapter. It's chapter 18. This book is so absolutely phenomenal. He says it's the best book on goals that's ever been written, and I believe that he might be right on that. So he puts down a goal, and he does it exactly the way he says. I earned $50,000 over the next 12 months. So he says it in the, we got somebody who wants to join us. Perfect. Carmen. Hey, Carmen, whenever you are able to, just unmute yourself and introduce yourself. We're going over a goal. Carmen.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, David. I'm actually on the road on my way home, but I'll be I'll be logging in on my to my laptop when I reach home in 5 minutes.
Perfect.
I'm
Perfect.
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would not be sorry for a second. Just listen to what I have, because I'm explaining right now a simple exercise that you can do every single morning and every single night that's going to take you 5 to 10 minutes that can completely and totally transform your whole life. This is something that Brian Tracy has taught to people for 20 to 30 years now. And
wow.
yeah, it's a real game changer. It's really simple, which that's why I love it, because I've been studying this stuff for 5 years now. And this is really simple and easy. And so basically it's you write down 10 goals every morning and every night in the positive, present, and personal tense. So personal tense, it means that it always has I at the beginning. And then the present tense is you write the goal down is I, weigh X amount, but you write the goal down as a positive affirmation, like it's already happened now. And then you add a date to it, or a time, like how long it takes. So he gives an example in here. And by doing this, I've been doing it every single morning, every night, and it's really a game changer. But every goal is going to be written out as a command or an order to your subconscious mind. And it's going to be, I do, I achieve, I accomplish, I complete, I weigh, I manifest. That's one way I write my goals. I have 4-year career goals that are network marketing related. Like I manifest my 4-year career, and then I describe the goal in detail, and then exactly when I'm going to achieve that. So I have a very specific date on there. But he says you can 10x this goal strategy by adding 3 action steps to that goal as you're writing them down. And also write those down as like affirmations or orders to your commands or your subconscious mind. So I was going to give an example really quick here. Let me see here. So yeah, so he gives this example of one of the goals that he would do. I earned $50,000 over the next 12 months. So he did that in the positive, present, and personal tense with a timeline, a deadline. And then he says under it, he writes 3 action steps that would help him manifest that goal. Ethan, can you please be quiet? I'm recording this. Okay. All right. So he adds 3 action steps to it that would make it so he manifests that goal quicker. So one was, I plan every day in advance. So he's giving an order or a command to his subconscious mind to act in a specific way. And he says, just by doing this, you'll start to act like that person. It will change the person. It's really deep when you think about it. And then another action step he gives for this goal. I start in immediately on my most important task. He said that is the most successful people in the world all have one thing in common, and that's the first thing they do in the morning is start on their most important tasks or the most high value tasks that they can do. And then the third one he adds is I concentrate single-mindedly on my most important task until it is complete. So does that make sense to you, Carmen?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Now you said that, is it okay to ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned, you mentioned that you also write down your 4-year or 5-year goal with network marketing, right?
Yes.
So is it like a short, a short statement?
Yes.
Like you said, 10. Okay.
Can I give you an example of the one I wrote this morning?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this is a network marketing goal, specifically how you would write a network marketing goal if it pertained to the 4-year career book. And I based this on the 5 Who Gets 5 model from the book. But this is the way I applied Brian Tracy's goal strategy that he says will completely and totally transform your life if you do this every morning. So I wrote this down. I did this in my phone, but I said, I manifest my 4-year career with $162,000 in product sales per month, $11,340 in asset income per month, 810 world-class leaders, and an asset value of $2,268,000 by August 31st, 2025. So that goal that I wrote down is verbatim the 5 Who Gets 5 model from the book, The 4-Year Career. But I took all the components. There's 4 cornerstones to the 4-year career. I took all those components and I put them into this goal. So there's a lot of clarity and there's a lot of detail in this goal. So my subconscious mind knows exactly what I want.
Okay, I have to be specific.
Well, so there's a book called Homeless to Billionaire by Andres Pira, and it talked about how he went from being a homeless guy on the beach to billionaire. And the first chapter is on goal setting. And he says that he learned how to set goals from Brian Tracy. He learned how to set goals by following Brian Tracy's methodology.
Okay.
But he said the thing that he learned from being a homeless guy on a beach to becoming a billionaire was knowing exactly what you want is the first principle of wealth attraction.
Oh, okay. And you don't have to worry about the how.
Well, and the thing that 10X is the goal is when you write those 3 action steps under it, you're starting to dig into the how. Because you're basically putting an affirmation below. And this isn't something you have to do in the beginning. The first thing in the beginning is just do the 10 goals in the morning and do the 10 goals at night. But as you get better and better at it, then once you write out your goal, write 3 action steps that would get you closer to that goal. What are the 3 things that you're going to affirm for yourself that's going to get you closer to that goal?
Okay. Like for network marketing is calling people, studying the presentation.
Yeah. That's
the action goal, right? How many calls per day?
I would probably put an affirmation in there about I stat tracking. I track my stats every single day. I invite people every single day to just take a look at my products and my income opportunity. I would probably just put action steps around the things that are going to make that goal manifest itself. But what Brian Tracy talks a lot about is, so he talks, I'm going to talk briefly about this and then we're going to listen to him speak. But
okay.
I think you'll find this interesting because I think this is something you're struggling with. And once you get this, I think you start realizing that there's something bigger within you that wants to manifest your dreams through you. So
okay.
He talks about the law of superconscious activity. He says the law of superconscious. Oh, actually, let me just go to it because I actually have a slide for it. So in the universe, there's but one law, one presence, one power, one substance. That's Dr. Robert A. Russell. That's metaphysics. That's a real key component to why goal setting is so life transforming. But this is the law of superconscious activity. It's on the slide for Carmen, for anybody who's watching this on YouTube. Mark Newby wasn't able to join us tonight. So, sending some love to you and your family, Mark. But here's the law of superconscious activity. He says, any thought, plan, goal, or idea held continuously in the conscious mind must inevitably be brought into reality by the super conscious mind. I think, and to me, that's God or the universe. The Native Americans called it the Great Spirit. But Brian Tracy is saying that if you have a goal and it's held continuously in the conscious mind. You're thinking about it in the morning and you're thinking about it at night, and you're doing that consistently. So an analogy I would like to give you here, Carmen, is, I know you're driving right now, but think about this, okay?
No, I'm on the park. I'm parked now in the garage.
So if you were to get on a plane, and that plane, it was a 10-hour flight, and when you got on the plane, the pilots, you know, the pilots and the co-pilots, they had a final destination. They had an end goal in mind. They knew exactly where they were going.
Mm-hmm.
And so throughout that flight, for the first 5 hours, they looked at their final destination. They kept correcting their course and making sure that they were on course, that they were headed to the right destination. But for the last 5 hours, they're like, well, you know, we're just tired of doing that. We're just going to let the plane go wherever it ends up and hope that we get to our final destination. We know most likely there's no chance in hell that that plane would ever make it to the final destination. And that's the same way your subconscious mind or your superconscious mind works, is when you're dealing with the most creative, powerful force in the universe, you have to have your goal in mind until the very end, until the last second, until you've achieved and manifested that goal down to the finest detail, before you just discard it and just say, oh, I'm just going to let, you know, I'm just going to let the chips fall where they may, or I'm just going to let, you know, fate take over or chance take over, or, you know what I mean? Like, that's the real key, is when you understand that this goal that you are holding continuously in your conscious mind, it has no choice but to inevitably be brought into reality by the superconscious mind. The superconscious mind has to take you to that destination.
Okay, I got it.
Yes, because you're so clear about what you want and where you're going.
Yes, okay, I got it. Thank you.
Perfect. Moving on. There might be some people joining us a little bit later because the times are confusing out there. So this, can you read this for us?
Yes. There are no limits to your potential. The only limits on what your superconscious mind can do for you are the limits you place on your own mind and imagination. Brian Tracy.
Exactly. So when you're putting together your goals, he says it's very important to imagine that there are no limits on what you could be, do, or have. And it's really powerful to put your goals out there with that concept. And this is from Richard Bliss Brooke, but this is a lot about daily vision work that we've talked about. He says, when you fall in love with the process, which is what your daily vision work is it's designed to do, is to make you fall in love with, you know, the daily action steps that are going to get you closer to your goal. He says, Richard Bliss Brooke says, any large goal is inevitable. It's going to happen just as inevitably as the sun is going to come up tomorrow, just as inevitably as the ocean waves are going to keep coming in, just as inevitable as the seasons are going to change. All right. So we're going to listen to some of the book here. These are the 12 steps to setting and achieving your goals. This is not the writing down 10 goals in the morning, 10 goals at night. That's a separate exercise that's, you know, completely and totally transforms people's lives, but it's more simplistic. This is when you get deeper into goal setting. You know, the first thing is, what do you want to be, do, and have no limitations on what you could be, do, or have, because there are actually no limitations for you other than the ones you impose upon yourself. Understand that your beliefs create your reality. That's one of the universal laws, that there's no way around that. Write your goals down, because that programs your goals into your subconscious mind, and it contacts and releases the limitless power within you, in your subconscious and your superconscious. He says, analyze your starting point, analyze any, obstacles or any, things in where you're at right now that you might need to improve, different skills you might need to work on. Be very honest about where you are now. And then this is the game changer. He says, determine your reasons why you want to achieve this goal. He says, if you could come up with 10, 20, 50 reasons why you want to achieve a goal, he says you'll achieve that goal way faster.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
You'll be a lot more motivated to act every single day because you'll have such a powerful why. That's not just one reason why, it could be 100 reasons why. Set a deadline. That's a real game changer for goal setting and goal achieving, because you're working with the real world and you want your subconscious and superconscious mind to manifest according to real world, timelines. Identify the obstacles. This is a game changer because you can identify the obstacles that are holding you back, and you can turn those into goals. You can turn those into sub goals. If there's something that's an obstacle, then the perfect way to get over that obstacle would be to make it a goal to get over that obstacle. Determine the additional knowledge and skill you need, determine the people you will need, and then make a plan. The cool thing here is the plan is going to be goals. The big goal is going to be broken down into little goals, which are going to be like annual goals and monthly goals and weekly goals. And then when you get to the real goals, the fortune, you're at the daily goals. What is the daily things that you need to do to manifest the big goal? And then visualize yourself constantly as if you've already achieved that thing. And he also talks about how you should write your goals in the affirmative, like, that it's already happened. Never give up, never quit, never for 1 second believe that you are not going to achieve that goal. And then we're going to listen to this book for 20 minutes, and then we're going to just discuss it and call it a night. Sound good?
Yes, great.
I think you're going to like this.
This awareness. The more you say, think about the future set for yourself. No matter where you are in life, you imagine that you have all the friends, contacts, and relationships you need to open every door and achieve anything you could really want. You imagine that you have no limitations whatsoever on what you could be, have, or do in the pursuit of the goals that are really important to you. When you practice idealization and future orientation, you make no compromises with your dreams and visions for yourself and your future. You don't settle for smaller goals or half successes. Instead, you dream big dreams and project yourself forward mentally as though you are one of the most powerful people in the universe. You create your perfect future. You decide what you really want before you come back to the present moment and deal with what is possible for you within your current situation. So, start with your business and career. Imagine that your work life was perfect 5 years from now. Answer these questions. Number 1, what would it look like? Number 2, if your work life were perfect, what would you be doing? Number 3, where would you be doing it? Number 4, who would you be working with? What level of responsibility would you have? 5, if you were at the top of your field, what kind of skills and abilities would you have? Number 6, what kind of goals would you be accomplishing? And number 7, what level of status would you have in your field if your career was perfect sometime in the future? When you answer these questions, imagine that you have no limits. Imagine that everything is possible for you. Imagine that you have a magic slate. That means you can write down anything you want. You can erase anything that may have happened in the past and create whatever picture you desire for your future. You can clean the slate at any time and start over. You have no limits. When you fantasize and imagine your perfect future, the only question you ask is, how? This is the most powerful question of all. Asking the word how repeatedly stimulates your creativity and triggers ideas to help you accomplish your goals. Unsuccessful people always wonder whether or not a particular goal is possible. High achievers, on the other hand, only ask the question, how? They then set to work to find ways to make their visions and goals into realities. When you have clear, exciting goals and ideals, you will feel happier about yourself and your world. You'll be more positive and optimistic. You'll be more cheerful and enthusiastic. You will feel internally motivated to get up and get going every morning, because every step you're taking will be moving you in the direction of something that is important to you. Resolve to think about your ideal future most of the time. Remember, the very best days of your life lie ahead. The happiest moments you will ever experience are still to come. The highest income you will ever earn is going to materialize in the months and years ahead. The future is going to be better than anything that may have happened in your past. There are no limits. The clearer you can be about your long-term future, the more rapidly you will attract people and circumstances into your life to help make that future a reality. The greater clarity you have about who you are and what you want, the more you will achieve, and the faster you will achieve it in every area of your life. Chapter 4. Clarify your values. One of the most important characteristics of leaders and top people in every area of life is that they know who they are, what they believe in, and what they stand for. Average people are usually confused about their goals, values, and ideals, and as a result, they go back and forth and accomplish very little. Men and women who become leaders, on the other hand, with the same or even fewer abilities and opportunities, go on to accomplish great things in whatever they attempt. Life is lived from the inside out. The very core of your personality is your values. Your values are what make you the person you are. Everything you do on the outside is dictated and determined by your values on the inside, whether clear or fuzzy. The greater clarity you have regarding your values on the inside, the more precise and effective will be your actions on the outside. You can imagine your personality by thinking of a target with concentric rings from the inside to the outside. Your personality is also made up of 5 rings starting from the center, your values, and radiating outward to the next circle, which is your beliefs. You see, your values determine your beliefs about yourself and the world around you. If you have positive values, such as love, compassion, and generosity, you will believe that people in your world are deserving of these values, and you will treat them accordingly. Your beliefs, in turn, determine the 3rd ring of your personality, your expectations. If you have positive values, you will believe yourself to be a good person. If you believe yourself to be a good person, you will expect good things to happen to you. If you expect good things to happen to you, you will be more positive, cheerful, and future-oriented. You will look for the good in other people and other situations. And surprise, surprise, your expectations will become your realities. The 4th level of your personality, determined by your expectations, is your attitude. Your attitude will be an outward manifestation or reflection of your values, beliefs, and expectations. For example, if your value is that this is a good world to live in, and your belief is that you're going to be very successful in life, you will expect that everything that happens to you is helping you in some way. As a result, you will have a positive mental attitude toward other people, and they will respond positively toward you. You will be a more cheerful and optimistic person. You will be someone that others want to work with and for, and buy from and sell to, and generally help to be more successful. This is why a positive mental attitude seems to go hand in hand with great success in every walk of life. The 5th ring or level of your life is your actions. your actions on the outside will ultimately be a reflection of your innermost values, beliefs, and expectations on the inside. This is why what you achieve in life and work will be determined more by what is going on inside of you than by any other factor. You can tell how a person thinks most of the time by looking at the conditions of their outer lives. A positive, optimistic, goal and future-oriented person on the inside will enjoy a happy, successful, and prosperous life on the outside most of the time. You are the very happiest when what you are doing on the outside is congruent with your values on the inside. When you are living in complete alignment with what you consider to be good and right and true, you will automatically feel happy and positive about yourself and your world. Your goals must be congruent with your values, and your values must be congruent with your goals. This is why clarifying your values is often the starting point to high achievement and peak performance. Values clarification requires that you think through what is really important to you in life. You then organize your entire life around these values. Any attempt to live on the outside in a manner that contradicts the values you hold on the inside will cause you stress, negativity, unhappiness, pessimism, and even anger and frustration. So therefore, your chief responsibility to yourself in the creation of a great life is for you to develop absolute clarity about your values in everything you do. Living in alignment with your true values is the royal road to self-confidence, self-respect, and personal pride. In fact, almost every human problem can be resolved by returning to values. Whenever you experience stress of any kind, look into yourself and ask, in what way am I compromising my innermost values in this situation? There are some insightful ways to help you to determine your true values. First of all, you can look at your past. How have you behaved under pressure in the past? What choices did you make with your time or money when you were forced to choose? Your answers will give you an indication of your predominant values at that time. Dale Carnegie once wrote, "Tell me what gives a person his greatest feeling of importance, and I will tell you his entire philosophy of life." What makes you feel important? What raises your self-esteem? What increases your sense of self-respect and personal pride? What have you accomplished in your past life that has given you the greatest sense of pride and satisfaction? These answers will give you good indications of your true values. The spiritual teacher Emmett Fox once wrote about the importance of discovering your heart's desire. What is your heart's desire? What is it that deep down in your heart, more than anything else, you would like to be, have, or do in life? As a friend of mine asked, what do you want to be famous for? What words would you like people to use to describe you when you are not there? What would you like people to say about you when you have passed on? What would you like someone to say about you at your funeral? How do you want your family, friends, and children to remember you? How would you want them to talk about you after you had left this earth? How would you like people to talk to them about you today? What kind of reputation do you have right now? What kind of a reputation would you like to have sometime in the future? And what would you have to begin doing today in order to create the kind of reputation that you desire? Remember, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. All that really matters is where you're going. If you were an outstanding person in every respect, how would you behave toward others? What sort of impression would you leave on others after you had met them and spoken with them? Imagine you could be a completely excellent person. How would you be different from today? In psychology, your level of self-esteem determines your level of happiness. Self-esteem is defined as how much you like yourself. Your self-esteem, in turn, is determined by your self-image. This is the way you see yourself and think about yourself in your day-to-day interactions with others. Your self-image is shaped by your self-ideal. Your self-ideal is made up of the virtues, values, goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations that you have for yourself sometime in the future. Here's what psychologists have discovered. The more your behavior in the moment is consistent with what you feel your ideal behavior should be, the more you like and respect yourself, and the happier you are. Your aim should be to deliberately and systematically create the circumstances that raise your self-esteem in everything you do. You should live your life as though you are already the outstanding person that you intend to be sometime in the future. What are your values today with regard to your work and your career? Do you believe in the values of integrity, hard work, dependability, creativity, cooperation, initiative, ambition, and getting along well with other people? People who live these values in their work are vastly more successful and more highly esteemed than people who do not. What are your values with regard to your family? Do you believe in the importance of unconditional love, continuous encouragement and reinforcement, patience, forgiveness, generosity, warmth, and attentiveness? People who practice these values consistently with the important people in their lives are much happier than people who do not. What are your values with regard to money and financial success? Do you believe in the importance of honesty, industry, thrift, frugality, education, excellent performance, quality, persistence? People who practice these values are far more successful in their financial lives than those who do not, and they're far more successful far faster as well. What about your health? Do you believe in the importance of self-discipline, self-mastery, and self-control with regard to diet, exercise, and rest? Do you set high standards for your levels of health and fitness and then work every day to live up to those standards? People who practice these values live longer, healthier lives than people who do not. Perhaps the most important value of all is that of integrity. A billionaire once said to me, "Integrity is not so much a value in itself," he said. "It is rather the value that guarantees all the other values." Wow, this is a great insight for me. Once you've decided that you're going to live consistent with a value, your level of integrity determines whether or not you follow through on your commitment. The more you discipline yourself to live consistent with the very best you know, the greater is your level of personal integrity.
Sorry.
And the higher your level of integrity, the happier and more powerful you will feel in everything you do. Truly great men and women are always described as having high levels of integrity. They live their lives consistent with their highest values, even when no one is looking. Mediocre men and women, on the other hand, are always cutting corners and compromising their integrity, especially when no one is watching. Decide today to be a man or woman of honor. Resolve to tell the truth and to live in truth with yourself and other people. Crystallize your values in each area of your life. Write them down. Think of how you would behave if you were living consistent with those values, and then refuse to compromise them for any reason. Once you accept complete responsibility for your life and for everything that happens to you, and then create an ideal picture of your perfect future and clarify your values, you are now ready to begin setting clear, specific goals in every area of your life. Chapter 5. Determine your true goals. My favorite word in goal setting and success in general is the word clarity. There is a direct relationship between the level of clarity you have about who you are and what you want and virtually everything else you accomplish in life. Superior men and women invest the time necessary to develop absolute clarity about themselves and what they really want, like designing a detailed blueprint for a building before they begin construction. Average people just throw themselves at life, like a dog chasing a passing car, and wonder why they never seem to catch anything or keep anything worthwhile. Earlier, I mentioned that intense, burning desire is absolutely essential to the overcoming of obstacles and the achieving of great goals. For your desire to be intense enough, your goals must be purely personal. They must be goals that you choose for yourself, rather than goals that someone else wants for you, or that you want to achieve to please someone in your life. In goal setting, for the process to be effective, you must be perfectly selfish about what it is that you really, really want for yourself. One of the most important questions in goal setting is this: what do I really want to do with my life? If you could do or be or have anything at all in life, what would it be? Remember, you can't hit a target you can't see. You should return to this question over and over again in the months and years ahead. What do I really want to do with my life? In determining your true goals, you start with your vision, your values, and your ideals. When you begin, these will often feel a bit like fantasies, detached from reality. However, now your job is to make them concrete, like designing a dream house on paper. You start with your general goals and then move to more and more specific goals. For example, ask these questions. Number 1, what are your 3 most important goals in your business and career right now? Number 2, what are your 3 most important financial goals right now? Number 3, what are your 3 most important family or relationship goals right now? And 4, what are your 3 most important health and fitness goals right now? The flip side of the above questions is for you to ask, what are my 3 biggest worries or concerns in life right now? What bothers you, worries you, concerns you, and preoccupies you in your day-to-day life? What aggravates or irritates you? What is robbing you of happiness more than anything else? As a friend of mine often asks, where does it hurt? Once you have identified your biggest problems, worries, or concerns, ask yourself, what are the ideal solutions to each of these problems? How could I eliminate these problems or worries immediately? What is the fastest and most direct way to solve this problem? In 1142, William of Ockham, a British philosopher, proposed a method of problem solving that has come to be referred to as Occam's razor. This way of thinking has become famous and popular throughout the ages. What Occam said was that the simplest and most direct solution, requiring the fewest number of steps, is usually the correct solution to any problem. Many people make the mistake of overcomplicating goals and problems. But the more complicated the solution, the less likely it is ever to be implemented, and the longer the time it will take to get any results. Your aim should be to simplify the solution and go direct.
All right, all right. Any questions on that? You're muted.
No, it's very good. I'm sorry, I'm still in the car. It's very good, actually. It's very clear and very, he explained it very clearly.
Okay. Any questions on how to do the 10 written goals in the morning and at night?
No, it's actually easy, but then you have to really commit on doing it every day, twice a day.
Yeah, and part of the methodology, he says it's really powerful if you don't look at your list. So when you do it one day, you don't look at your list from the day before, and you just try to come up with I'm doing a list of 15 goals, but you just try to come up with your goals off the top of your head, because then you really start to figure out what's really important to you.
Mm-hmm. How did you write your goals? How did you write it? It's the same thing as what he had mentioned. Is it the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, I think somebody's joining us here. I don't know. I just added them. Maybe they're not. I'm not sure. So my goals all start with, he says that the real key is they all have to start with I, the personal tense. You're basically giving your subconscious mind an order. But I think a powerful one is you and me have talked about some of your income goals with network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start owning this concept of removing the limitations from your mind, what you could be, what you could do, and what you could have. And he says to approach life like you're already that person. That's one of the things he said about self-esteem is, show up on the world stage is you've already accomplished all those goals. You've already achieved those goals. You're that person now. So, one of the goals I wrote down in here is I own. And I talked about, me and my wife's dream home, that is something. And I described, like the cost, which is obviously, quite a bit, but I described the goal and I put a date on it, and it's in alignment with my other goals.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put these goals that you're going to be earning, way more money than you're earning now, 10x or, whatever, all of a sudden, you open up, opportunities that you could be living in your dream home, or you could be taking that 2-month vacation with your husband and your children. I mean, so those could be included in your goals.
Okay. Got it.
Hey, Zara, welcome. Please unmute yourself when you are able to. I'll try to catch you up on speed before we shut down the whole show here. And this will be all available on YouTube for anybody to watch, especially Mark, because I know that Mark wasn't able to come right now. So this is something he talks about in the book, and I think this is a real game changer, and this is something I want to start doing. But he says the most successful people in the world are masters at this concept of asking themselves, what is the most valuable use of my time right now? And journaling that consistently on a daily basis. And the more you ask yourself this, he talks about the Pareto principle, where 20% of our activities create 80% of the results or the value that we experience in our life. So the more you hone in on what is the most valuable use of my time in all these different areas of life. Oh, awesome. Is it Zara? Can you unmute yourself, Zara? So these are the 6 areas of your life when you really start asking yourself, what is the most valuable use of my time when it comes to my family? What is the most valuable use of my time when it comes to my financial goals, my social goals, my network marketing goals, my health and fitness goals? And the more you start doing this, the more you start eliminating procrastination from your life and self-sabotage, any of the things that are going to make it so you're not doing those most valuable activities. So this is the concept he keeps coming to. This is a key principle to keep in your mind when you're setting your goals. Imagine your life is perfect in every way and is always something transcending your wildest dreams right now. And then start from there. That's where you start building your short-term, your long-term, your medium range goals. And you can start doing this exercise that we talked about, your 10 goals in the morning, 10 goals at the night. But I love this quote. What if you haven't even scratched the surface yet? What if the best is still to come? Consider the possibility. And if you understand the law of supernatural activity, I'm going to explain that one last time. It's not consider the possibility, it's consider the inevitability.
Okay.
That's the real game changer when it comes to goal setting is once you're looking at these goals every single day and you've done that for 90 days, then you have the compounding effect working for you. And then you start to create that feeling and that belief of inevitability. And that's what activates your super conscious mind to start working on your behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of think of that as Ralph Waldo Emerson says, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. Your super conscious mind is the universe. It's the whole, it's the big picture. So just to repeat this before we end tonight, the law of super conscious activity is any thought, plan, goal, or idea held continuously in the conscious mind must inevitably be brought into reality by the superconscious mind. So now, when the superconscious mind is on your side in assisting you in manifesting your wildest dreams, that means every single person in the universe, every single person on this planet is working collectively, subconsciously and superconsciously behind the scenes in the invisible and spiritual world to help you manifest your own dreams and your goals and your desires. That's the real power here.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I hope that's helped. I'm going to put the video out. Again, this is a 10-week series on goals, mastering the art of goal setting. We're just listening to 20 minutes of this book every single week, discussing it and working through the exercises. Any other questions from anybody?
No, thank you very much, David, for the valuable information. And I will start writing my 10 goals tonight.
Perfect. Reach out to me if you have any questions or you need any help. I would love to be of service and to help you in this process. And my prayer for you, Carmen, Zara, Mark Newby, anybody watching on YouTube, is that God gives you the desires of your heart and makes all of your plans succeed.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Same with
oh, thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And I will be praying for everybody in here to master this art. This is a game changer. This can completely transform your whole life.
Yes. Thank you, David. God bless.
God bless you too. God bless you, Zara.
Bye.
Bye.
David, when are you putting it up on YouTube?
I will put it up on YouTube as soon as I finish this, turn this off, and I can send it to you are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
Perfect.
So it's Zara Veronica Ward.
Yes. It looks like you're my friend on there.
I am.
I'll send it to you right away, okay?
Yeah, I had problems staying connected to you, and I had this echoey sound coming through, and it kept on knocking me out of the meeting, and I'm like, oh. So yeah, I just thought I'd let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so that. David, thank you for posting that up on Facebook as well, because all awareness is valuable. It's how you use it.
Yeah, and definitely, and I am here to assist you or help you in any way I possibly can. So when you have time to watch the YouTube video, if you have any questions, how this works, reach out to me. I'm engaged in the process. I'm learning the process, and I would love to help you and be of service.
So is this going to be weekly, or how does it, just so that I know so I can time it?
It's a 10-week masterclass series on goal setting. We've already done one video that's on YouTube. I can send you that.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and I'll send you this other one. And I would love for you to join us throughout the process and just get whatever value you can.
So every Wednesday at 12 o'clock.
Your time, yes. My time, it's Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Okay, so where are you from?
I'm in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and you are in?
New Zealand.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so right down the bottom, the first country to see the day come in. Woo! Kia ora.
But
Hey, blessings of how are you guys coping with the lockdowns and that?
we're just doing
Crazy.
we're doing the best we can.
Yeah. So where I'm in Auckland, so Auckland is still in lockdown level 3 because we had a whole lot of variants, the Delta variant from Australia come through.
Mhm.
So the rest of the country's in lockdown too. But this is coming up our 8th week.
Well,
So yeah, I can't go and do my other studies, my diploma, but it's all good, you know. It's like being mindful. Well, what can you do? Well, I can study and learn different things. I can study online. I can still go for a walk with a mask doing the 2 meters. Yeah, but your family as well. And
yeah,
you're
my
well?
family's well. How about yours?
We're very blessed. They're all throughout New Zealand. There's only a few of us in Auckland that can't see each other. So yeah. Hey, yeah, thank you for putting this up. I will look forward to getting your information that you sent through. And yeah, I will see you next Wednesday at 12 o'clock. I'll diarise it for 10 weeks and hopefully the connection will be better.
Perfect. Yeah, if we have any issues, I might have to just work on getting a better internet service or something. But no, regardless of how the connection works, I'll always have it on YouTube available after,
Yep.
so you can always check it out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Take care, David. Namaste.
Yeah, namaste. My prayer for you and your family is that God gives you the desires of your heart, makes all of your plans succeed. Have a wonderful day, Zara.
You too, my dear. Thank you.